week 9 of the Swain Vaddy League. I am AJ0 here, joined with Scotchnaut and Thrifty Senpai to hopefully bring you a little bit less of a clown fiesta than that last game.
Or even more of a clown fiesta.
All
But
the
ultimately,
clown.
I'm always hoping for more of a clown fiesta.
You can never go wrong with more clown.
You know what the best way to increase your clown potential of any given game is, guys? Bring in a substitute player, and that's what TDO is doing right now. They've got Sword and Mace in their lobby instead of Zwerves, their starting mid laner, which I believe would be the first time they've had to play their substitute player this season.
That is correct.
And Zwerve's been a very, I think, essential part of their team dynamic. So really curious to see if they maybe switch roles around, put Sword into something he's more comfortable on, or if they just kind of throw him to the Wolves here. And by that, I mean Thor Odinson. And I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty biased. I'm pretty happy to see Sword and Mace right now because I really need TDO to lose this game to still have a shot at that first seed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, in the bigger picture, this is the fairest thing to happen to Boosted, considering how many times they've had to run sub or double sub.
Yeah, they've really...
So it'd be nice for somebody to throw them a bone and get a sub game.
All I'm saying is I don't think Cheeseburger is going to be playing in that All-Star game.
Oh, man. The cheese will burgle.
And the burger will be cheesed. Alright, so not too sure what we're waiting on, but...
Yeah, not a whole lot of communication here with these teams. It's kind of like a solo queue game or maybe some Starhorn Royal Club going on.
TDO can get the Starwood Royal Club. They're in first place, so they at least have like something going for them. We got Solo Queue Heroes versus Starhorn Royal Club. That's what we got going on here.
No, I'm talking about that Starhorn Royal Club back when they made the second World Finals when Uzi and Insec were on the team, and the two Koreans and the three Chinese players all hated each other.
Yeah, and then
so
also
they Safari.
Like they actually just communicated through pings.
Yeah. No, it was a beautiful story. I bring this up probably every week or two, to be completely honest, about when somebody complains about their solo queue teams. I'm like, Starhorn Royal Club made it to a fucking World Finals in a tournament with both Samsung teams using Smart Ping.
Yep.
You can fucking ping your silver teammates.
Thank God for a smart ping.
How
else would they have figured out what was going on without it?
Also, I mean, just having 5 world-class players that want to win helps.
What?
Well, I mean...
But it's really just Smart Ping. Smart Ping's the real hero here.
Boost.
Yes.
Alright,
so... Azir ban right away.
I like that ban a lot. Thor has been very good on that champion every time he's played it.
And then Shyvana answering back,
Yeah.
we don't want to hear, or we don't want to see Lord Smog cometh again.
Yeah, you know, that Thermidor Shyvana game a few weeks ago, I'm starting to think most dominating performance in the history of the SBL has been a really overplayed storyline for this past month.
Well, you talk about that, and then the other game you have to compare it to is Thermidor on that Vi, that he was just like see hero, kill hero the entire game. Like, it did not matter if his flash was up, his ult was up. If he could kill somebody, he was getting the kill.
No, I definitely agree with it being an overplayed storyline, though. We've had some really dominating games in past seasons. I just think people are kind of forgetting about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of recency bias.
Yeah. Like, there's definitely a lot of recency bias. I mean, some of these games have been very, very big, but...
Alright, so ban's going to be rounded out here with TDO taking away Alistar and Caitlyn from Respect and Avalite, respectively.
Do you think we might see a first pick Thresh here?
I think there's a decent chance of it. 30 has a lot of respect for Respect. And...
Alright.
I mean, traditionally, if you go far enough back, 30 was a big-time Thresh player, so...
Yeah.
Take away what he might think are Respect's top 2 champions. I know I personally don't like the idea of Respect on that Thresh. He makes a lot of plays when he's on that champion.
It's like, it's not even just, like, he just plays it, he's so comfortable with that champion. Like, he makes a lot of plays that he wouldn't on other ones just because he's so incredibly comfortable with the champion. And he knows what he can do to, like, the absolute limit. Oh, let's talk about purple team's bans, though. We
Yeah,
touched on those.
2 hits at Thermidor. They're trying to slow him down any way, shape, or form they can here.
I mean, that has been by far his most successful junglers. The Shyvana and Vi have been very, very big each time they've played.
But moving forward, do you think like well, this game's different because they have their sub in, but when 30 made the switch back to support, like all the lanes won, and Thermidor could just sit in that jungle and get huge. So does Thermidor really care what he plays? Because he's gonna get huge, regardless.
I think they have to be a little bit more like that was fine, but I think they have to keep that in mind that they have a sub this game in the mid lane. So he can't just sit back and power farm as much as before because he doesn't have like all these lanes are gonna go even. Also, the champions are not showing for me for which ones are locking. So if you guys could go ahead and eventually, at some point, let me know what they are, so I'm not gonna be making any comments on those.
Yeah, absolutely. You might want to just pull up the stream on your second monitor.
That's why I'm doing that right now.
Okay.
But
because we've got the first 2 picks locked in for boosted right here, which is going to be the Echo and the Thresh.
oh, so they
for all
first
that talk,
Maokai. Yeah, I'm
Respect
not
does get
surprised by the
Thresh.
Echo Thresh pickup after the Maokai here at all.
No, I think those are way better picks in the context of this draft than the Maokai first overall was. I am actually fairly confused by the priority that TDO put onto that champ. Maokai is good, but
Yeah, I completely agree. We know when they know that this Wind has played Maokai, but like it wasn't like the most amazing thing ever, and we all know Wind. Everybody who's played with Wind knows how much he loves Echo. Like if you leave it open, he's gonna pick it. So I feel like you could have used that at the very least, gone for another priority pick over the Maokai.
yeah, and I'm actually surprised that Purple didn't just take the Echo while it's still relevant. It's something that's been banned against him, I believe, the last 2 weeks. And something he's been playing a ton. It's obviously still a very strong pick.
It has been nerfed. It did get nerfed on the most recent patch. It was a buff to AP Echo and a nerf to Tank Echo. But
So question, do you guys consider Nautilus a counter to Thresh? Is that what 30 maybe wanted? He wanted him to pick the Thresh because he was confident that the Nautilus was going to be able to stuff whatever...
I think it's more of a skill matchup than anything. I mean, that's in general how bot lane works. There's very minimal hard countering the ways that there is in the solo lanes. Those are 2 champions that are both, it's going to be more about capitalizing on the enemy AD carry screwing up. And with the enemy AD carries being Lucian and Ezreal, those are champions that have a lot of potential to kind of play their way out of their mistakes.
Of the supports that
so
are
slippery.
more like favored, though, I'd say like Jaina and like Nautilus are 2 of the supports that like tend to enjoy laning against a Thresh. Like it's definitely not a, I don't know.
Right, because like
there's a lot of other supports that Thresh would rather lane against than a Nautilus for sure.
Are we gonna see the brand come out?
I was about to say no, and then he locked it in. So,
Oh,
yes,
boy.
yes, we are. That is going to be a brand.
You know what's nice about brand? Is similar to Malzahar. I mean, it helps when you have tons of items and you're doing a crap ton of damage, but the base damage on brand, the percentage health burn, is nice regardless of how fed you are.
Oh,
His passive is very good against tanks.
Oh.
Oh no.
What do we see? Fill me in.
Oh no.
What's the
Why
champion
would
from
you
solo
ever
queue that puts
pick
you on tilt?
Master Yi in an
What?
SBL game. This this is not good, guys. And
Not even Dan either.
Maestro Yi. With that pick, Thermidor has won the hearts of millions and crushed the dreams of millions more.
You're about to see 5 exhausts come out on the other team.
This isn't Victor Yi even, as we've said.
Oh man.
well, if you want to take away his Thermidor or take away his Shyvana, why not make a pick that does the exact same thing?
Oh god. How tilted do you
guys-
think Boosted is right
at
now?
At least they did nerf. Bruiser Yi has been nerfed. I don't know if either of you had the misfortune of running into this like pseudo Bruiser Yi with Devourer.
Yeah,
It's
but here's a
miserable
nice
when the
pickup
Yi
by
player is
Thor.
good.
Okay, so the Yi comes charging in. What what champion feasibly do you really want charging into a LeBlanc that can pop you if you're squishy or chain you inevitably?
LeBlanc actually has like E. He can't like he has to wait. He gets an alpha strike on it at first because like LeBlanc can't preemptively blow him up because otherwise he gets the alpha strike. The
Does the Alpha
QR.
Strike break the chain?
It doesn't break the chain, but it can dodge the chain, and it also can break like if a
Okay.
Q is mid-flight and the alpha strikes, the Q just disappears.
Okay. I thought the chain was a lot longer than the Alpha Strike range. But
No, the
maybe I'm
chain
not
is
thinking.
considerably longer than the alpha strike range, but the thing is that he's not slowed when he's Highlandering, so a lot of times like he can walk into the chain and just walk back out, like
Right.
and just break the tether.
They do have a Gragas too, and that's going to be hard to
Yeah,
get around.
Gragas is really solid. I don't know. I'm curious how kind of ability it will be because I've actually seen in like a couple high elo games and like a couple of my games as well recently, with more of like well not recently a while back before the nerfs of like this like pseudo bruiser E that was really obnoxious. Um, but they nerfed it pretty hard. Like they nerfed it pretty.
Yeah, they wanted that to stop.
They did not like that. You got this like stupid. It was like Devour, Rage Blade, like Dead Man's Plate, Sterix kind of deal going on. Sometimes with like Titanic or like Maw of Malmortius before Maw as well. Was not a fun time. But so I'm very curious to see what kind of build he goes with now, because I haven't seen any since the nerf.
Going on the other way, honestly, against a team with a lot of poke, in the form of like LeBlanc and Ezreal, what tank would you rather have than Maokai, who the more you cast, the more he heals?
Well, I like Maokai against LeBlanc as well, just because he has a point click, and if LeBlanc like it's a point click that if the LeBlanc like it was damned if you do, damned if you don't, because you either get rooted onto your team or you snap back and then you just bring a Maokai straight into your team. It's like you just engaged the Maokai onto your team for him. So I really like the Maokai there against LeBlanc, even though it wasn't something that was intentional.
I mean, 30's a pretty smart team captain. Can we rule out the idea that he counterpicked the last pick of purple team? Because I can't rule that out. It seems like something the 30 team would do.
That's fair. I mean, and he might have actually kind of picked that thinking, knowing that, because it is known that Thor plays LeBlanc, and they banned his Azir, and they know that they have a sub that doesn't play a ton of mid lane, so he might have been like, Thor's probably going to try and pick LeBlanc here to body our weak our sub mid laner, and kind of try to do his own version of what Blower did to Cruise Master last week. And so knowing that, he kind of picked his team around that, and kind of knowing that they're going to pick the Echo, left Gragas open for Dub Drum. It's definitely possible. Like this was a very like you could predict the majority of their draft besides their AD carry based off what they left open.
Yeah, but even if it was predictable, I gotta give the edge on this draft over to SS Boosted Friendship.
I agree.
They have too many power picks for those players specifically. I mean, Thor has drawn, I want to say 4 or 5 LeBlanc bans this season. Obviously,
Has he really?
has not been allowed his Thresh quite a lot of the time.
I would say the Thresh is something that more struck out to me, and Dub Drum on the Gragas is also something that they a lot of bans.
Yeah.
I don't think Thor has eaten a lot of LeBlanc bans actually.
He had
But
a
can
lot
we
of
talk
those
about,
earlier this season?
Okay.
Can we talk about Zhao on the Gragas that has put in so much work?
That's what I was mentioning. Yeah, I think the Gragas is really big here. He's done a lot of work with Gragas before, and Gragas is still a very powerful champion on this patch.
Yeah, I agree. To me, if Sword and Mace wasn't in this game, the jungle would be the most important matchup to watch. And because it's so weak to say, well, I'm just going to watch the mid lane and see if Sword and Mace gets completely and utterly bodied by LeBlanc or not. Because if that happens, like, it's going to be game over, most likely, and Boosted will win this. But assuming that there's some level of competition in the mid, this game is going to be all about the junglers, because Thermidor is not going to be ganking, and Zhao has been taking over in so many of SS Boosted Friendships games with his early pressure.
A lot of games where Boost wins is when, or like has a very close game, is when we see Dubdrum putting a lot of pressure onto the map.
The other interesting fact is that I can't remember. I don't think they've ran it that often. Is the Ezreal, and that takes 15 minutes before it's useful. So you wonder, like, you can gank and gank and gank, but you can't really necessarily get a whole lot because you have an Ezreal that's going tier Sheen.
The thing is, you have Echo and LeBlanc, which are both champions that can snowball very heavily, and Gragas can also snowball very heavily.
That's true. I just don't necessarily see their tower taking ability early being as, you know, horrifying as, say, like a Jinx.
They'll have to
Renekton.
start things off with a pick, but fortunately, the Echo, Gragas, LeBlanc, even Thresh can basically just dive in with reckless abandon because they know that Evolite is going to be able to take care of himself as an Ezreal.
Yeah. Also, like, their tower taking ability, like, is actually, like, really underrated. Like, their tower taking ability, like, conversely having another AD carry is only less when they have... Hook goes out trying to see if they can pick something up, but it's not going to land.
This was almost so exciting.
I
Just
know,
like every
almost.
level 1 ever.
Yep. We see a lot of TDO members, though, moving around in this top jungle. Looks like we're going to see them steal the red. They get a little vision down, and Maokai's actually setting up to take the Wraith camp.
Yeah, I'm surprised more teams aren't doing this when the other team wanders in and doesn't do, like, the throw a ward behind you.
Well, they're going to find him. Like I say, this is something you're actually seeing Maokai's doing a lot more. Oh, on the win, and Thordarson gonna run into Purple Pickle Pie, but
this could be a decent bait.
Purple Pickle Pie is kind of bringing him into this team, but they're all just gonna run out, and because of this, it's gonna ruin their entire time. On the win's running around.
This is unfortunate.
This is extremely unfortunate for both this mid and their jungler. Master Yi is not gonna get. He's either not gonna get a leash or Sword Mace is gonna fall even further behind. Meanwhile, Ghost 32 and 30 though are taking the Stone Bros in the bot. But Zhao's moving on to his blue buff. He's a full entire camp ahead of Master Yi.
I feel like Thermidor and Sword and Mace might have wanted to just sit in that brush, and they might have not checked it. They might have just seen Maokai chased him out and said, you know, get the crap out of here. And, you know, no one else is here, so we're not even going to bother checking it.
They could have just stacked there. Like, what's the worst comes to happen? You have a 2v2 brawl.
Yeah. Well, it would have been a 2v3.
Yeah. So with Maokai there.
I agree. Really surprised they didn't try to fight that. So we'll see what Dubdrum can do with this lead, because not only was that camp taken so much faster because of the leash.
Oh, nice hook. Big damage coming out in Respect.
There's a lot. 30 is trying to go. He's going to attempt to get the auto. Ghost 32's walking up, but Respect's going to be able to walk out that early level 2 from the Stone Bros, making the difference. Meanwhile, we're seeing Gragas move on to the TDO's red camp. We'll be seeing a little bit of counter jungling here. We'll see if Master Yi recognizes that is what is going on after he just finishes clearing out his top half of the jungle.
Yeah, being up against the Devourer style jungler, getting that early red buff steal, that's one of the probably better situations you can get that in.
Yeah, it's definitely not a bad one. We're actually going to see Gragas moving in for the gank. This TDO bot lane's pushed up really far. They're walking through the river though. It's almost like they know. They're going to check out blue, but they're going to have Thresh and Gragas coming in behind them. This is going to be very interesting. 30 and Ghost 32 running towards the river. We're going to see Brand moving down to ensure their escape. And despite what all signs pointed to, we actually have nothing happen. Except for the fact that they know that Gragas took their red buff.
So we have a moment of respond and just think, unlucky.
Unlucky.
And a big top.
Directed cam, please. Like, directed cam literally just snaps over to show on the win, finishing off this last bit onto Maokai. We're going to see a solo kill, proving that his Echo is not just all talk. Directed cam plays. Meanwhile, on...
This is also kind of showing the inconsistency of Purple Pickle Pie, like has been the developing storyline all season. When he's good, it's been very good, but some of these games he just looks lost so early. And this is an Echo champ that he's been playing a lot of recently, something that's been nerfed in the last patch.
Yeah, we're actually going to see the Dark Seal coming out from On the Wind. Has the potential to snowball, and it's also something we've been seeing a lot lately in its conjunction with Dark Rock. Gragas going to come in with the flash, but it's going to barely miss the knock with a Sword of Mace, but he's going to get his flash in exchange to make sure he does not take too much damage.
You know, I'm impressed with Sword and Mace and how much crap's been getting thrown at him. And
yeah.
well,
LeBlanc's going to land an EQ. He's going to take a little bit of damage, but Yeah, there's been obviously a very large amount of focus on the Sword and Mace here, trying to make the sub feel as uncomfortable and unwelcome as he can.
Real quick, while we have a break in the action, can we get the? Oh, actually, never mind. Should be fixed.
All
Thought I
right,
saw something on stream.
no worries. So we do see the kill on the win early on, but there's a very large CS advantage, meaning he only has like 100 gold lead. He does have a bit of a lead from the experience, but it seems like that kill is actually just making saving his butt for the amount of minions he missed. What do you guys think about that? Swift is a top laner.
Yeah, I wasn't really watching when he got that kill. I'm not sure if that was he got the kill and he was already down all that CS, or he just had a badly set up wave when he got the kill and recalls.
I think it was a bit of
the
both.
latter.
He was already down a decent amount.
Yeah, it's only about 120 gold difference between the two top laners right now.
I mean, the other thing is, Purple seems primarily focused on just farming, and Wind is like throwing everything he can at Purple, and Purple's just kind of like, all right, I'll trade with you if I have
lots
to.
of dash
but...
coming out. There's a big trade here, but on the Winston Mill just to walk out. Meanwhile, 30
huge hook bottom.
He's gonna get flailed back, but lots of dash. We're switching to flash and pull 30 into the tower, but it's not gonna be enough as Ghost Ray 2 puts a lot of damage on the Evilite. This 30 Ghost Lane giving Evilite and Resquect a real solid run for their money.
Sword and Mace.
Sword and the Mace. Blocking the Von Clone and Gragas trying to come up for a gank on a Purple Pickle Pie, but nothing will come from it.
Is that the ult?
I
think I just heard Brandel.
Oh, Brandel?
Oh, no, there it is.
Yeah,
oh my god!
And, oh my goodness, Sword and Mace is going to go ahead and pick up a solo kill on the Thor Odin's son.
Can you say Zedekis solo killing Baldur right now?
Oh, we're going to see TP, and there's anger on the win. TPing, trying to find it, but a beautiful stone out of Sword and Mace is going to stop that and save Thermidor.
You know, I feel like that's just
leaps and bounds.
A huge trap that starters get into when they're against a sub, where they're like, I have to body him. It's the sub. I have to, and they don't play their normal way, and then they get punished for it by the sub, who's like, this guy's like super ham playing like an idiot. I'm gonna be able to just, beat him.
I'm gonna say we're gonna see that coming out, and we see Thermidor coming into a decent CS lead. He's got the Skirmisher Saber. He's gonna go back and probably pick up the Devourer. We got a very interesting game on our hands here.
Yeah, that essentially evens up gold across the map now.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of have it's really interesting. We have like the reverse of what's going on top and mid. The CS needs have decreased dramatically top, but they're still there. Top's got the kill, but the CS disadvantage. Mid's got the kill, but the CS disadvantage. We're gonna go ahead and see the blue going on to LeBlanc though, trying to see if he can get some revenge. On the wind, looking for the gank, but Sword and Mace knows he's there. And gonna get a little bit of poke, put a little bit of hurt on him. But the magic resistance is going to nullify a lot of that damage.
And for the amount of time that Dubdrum has spent sitting idling around these lanes looking for, people to step out, he's not that far behind Thermidor, who, from my knowledge, has been just trying to power farm as hard as he can.
Yeah, well, Thermidor didn't have that really rough start, and that kind of
that's
behind.
true.
But something big notice, actually, well, we see Ping's going off for Dragon. Thermidor still has not completed his Devourer yet, so he's still not stacking, despite having the components to it.
It is worth noting, though, even though it's only a 6 CS difference, that is a 300 gold difference between the two junglers. So Thermidor has been getting better camps.
Heads up! Go! That is, yeah, I'd say, it depends, like, sometimes the CS can make a really big difference. Like, Grom, for example, is only 1 minion, but it's worth 100 gold. Whereas, which is the same amount as Wraith, but Wraith is 4 CS. So.
Basically, what we're saying is that the jungle position is bad for esports. It's so hard to follow. SBL Season 8, no junglers.
What will Master Splinter do?
That means I get to support in top lane.
Would you rather make that a 4v4 league or a 5v5 with just no jungle camps allowed until like 25 minutes?
5v5 league. I want to see 2 side lanes with 2 people.
That would be quite the clown fiesta.
I feel like you could.
Because you'd have
things.
supports taking taking TP to clown fiesta top.
I guess lots of trades back and forth, but nothing too much coming from any of it.
It's funny watching these 2 top laners. They're not gated by damage, they're gated by mana, both of them.
Yeah,
so
no.
they're trying to decide whether it's worth the scuffle or not. Do I just want to sit there and take his mana bar or not?
The struggles of a top laner. We have Gragas lurking in the shadows, looking for a possible gank onto Maokai. The way is not looking too favorable for it at the moment, though. He's just gonna back off. Thermidor might run into him in the river, but nothing will come of it. Most likely. He's kind of fighting himself here. But on the wind getting really low, Purple picked up Haikun on him, putting a lot of damage, but a little hesitant just because he's not sure where that Gragas is at. Ooh, big trade coming out bot. Birdie's gonna do your death charge. He's just gonna have to flash and blow the box, but he's gonna get the exhaust on Ghost Ray too, trying to cull him. Lots of damage coming out once again, but we're gonna see everyone get out just okay. I think that's like the story of this bot lane. 30 goes, tries to make a big play, and then Respect and Everlight just kind of eke it out at the last minute, which is something I think they want to do. This SBL is slowly scaling up.
They're not getting anything for it.
Yeah, Respect and Everlight can be so happy with how they played this out. They've rode out the tier of the Goddess disadvantage in their lane versus a Lucian to a 2-wave advantage over the course of the last, so many minutes.
Oh, huge hook coming out from 30 on to Respect. He's going to get the auto to knock him down, and this will almost be assuredly be a kill, but we have the TP coming in from on the wind. He's going to land the stun. Oh, but he's not going to need it. He's going to immediately kill Thermidor. Gragas is coming in as well. He's going to flash 30. He's going to flash his flash. And Ghost 32 is going to have a beautiful flash on the explosive cast to get out safely.
And Sword and Mace chases Thor out of it. I'm just surprised that Thor's not popping this brand.
Yeah, the CS gap in the mid lane hasn't really grown that much over the past few minutes either. That disadvantage for Sword and Mace about the same as it was 3 or 4 minutes ago, so he's playing surprisingly well this game.
Yeah, no, I think that's, oh my goodness, he's massive hooks out of 30, but Thor Odinson and on the wind waiting in the wings. Pickle Pie's gonna try to do what he can to soak as much damage with that ult, but once again we see Xiao coming in with the Gragas. He's looking for a big body slam. The Scratch Push going to miss, but there we go, there's the CC coming down. We're gonna see 30 go down, Pickle Pie getting flayed back, and he's gonna try and flash out, and it's gonna force the Echo out. We're gonna see a 1-for-0 trade after all of that. Meanwhile, Sword and Mace pushing down on this mid tower slowly but steadily. He's got it just over 33% down. 2/3 to go. And we now see 3 stacks on the Dark Seal. What you happen to, something to point out with this Dark Seal in the top lane, for all these mage users with the Corrupting Potion is, the stacks are just a side benefit. The big thing is that it, extends. Ooh. Oh my goodness. The Dangerous LeBlanc into Brand. Huge bounces.
I love how Sword and Mace just tossed that ult off, I know this is going to pop the passive and maybe kill you. And we're all sitting here we haven't seen a Brand in years. We're not ready.
Yeah, it's like...
I was wondering if
I might be familiar with that matchup.
I saw that and I just immediately clicked on the LeBlanc. I was like, if she goes past it, this gets really interesting.
It's unfortunate that he didn't flash ignite, press all his buttons at her, because he definitely could have got that.
Yeah.
But...
Oh man, so good.
Oh.
But yeah, going back to real quick while we have a little bit of a moment. Oh, alright, 30's coming in for the gank. Just kidding. Alright. Yeah, the Dark Seal's it extends the duration of the Corrupting Potion, so you get more health and more mana back from it. So, it's a pretty nice combination, just because of the recharges, and the stacks are just a side bonus, and it has a lot better resale value than Doran's Ring. So it's a really nice pickup for those mana-using top laners.
And a nice
We're gonna
Rift
see
Herald
Rift
pickup.
Herald going on to purple pickle pies. Really, really nice pickup from him and Thermidor. Really good for Thermidor because he's got the Devour and he is getting stacks. He has 12 stacks, but it's going to very quickly go to 13 here after he takes down the Gromp.
So are you surprised that TDO opted to give that Rift Herald buff to purple instead of Thermidor?
No, I'm not actually terribly surprised about it because Thermidor is literally just farming and he's not actually ganking. And a big part of the Rift Herald, like a Rift Herald actually does just give 10% more damage. And it gives the minions extra attack speed, so like you can maybe actually put it to use in this top lane.
Yeah, that could help him stall out this 2-kill, 150 gold lead that on the win is currently sitting on. Not as good as I thought.
Oh, nice hook comes up 30 onto Respect. He's going to do the same thing. He's going to get the Death Charge onto Ezreal, put the exhaust on him, but there's not going to be enough follow-up from Ghost 32. Kind of spooking the spot lane once again.
I love how you can tell when Alice is like stop letting directed camera do its thing.
Oh yeah. Is it that obvious?
Oh, 30 gets hooked in though.
Man.
Respect and Evelite putting down a lot of damage. Easy kill for Evelite there. Gonna start really snowballing this bot lane.
Alright,
Yeah.
can we just talk about Ghost 32 and how he just refuses to be combo food for anyone? He flashed the Gragas ult earlier. He healed to not get chained by Thor earlier as well, and that time he just dodged half of Thor's stuff again. Like, Ghost has got a happy feet this game. He's playing really mechanically sound.
Absolutely. For Ghost, for a guy who the story of his season has basically been he's 30's lane mate. Regardless of which roles they've been playing, he has definitely been the better player in this bot lane. By a substantial amount. Oh, it's
very big flash play, and the hook follows up. Ghost 32 is going to go down a little bit of exhaust.
Caster curse. Straight caster curse.
You guys put him down,
My
and now we're
dude.
going to see Xiao Xiao coming down. We're going to try to finish up this tower.
Your team's turret has been destroyed.
I'm really surprised 30's has been trying to force plays a little too hard here. And
That's a big tower to go down because now Evelite and Respect can roam, and a Thresh Ezreal roaming towards that mid lane. Sword and Mace presumably not going to be as good at handling the siege scenario as he might have been at the 1v1.
yeah,
Boost is
I mean, who
going to
knows?
have
He
a
could surprise us
wide
once
open
again.
playbook. That is true, but even if he does know how to respond, Brand is a champion, not going to do that well in a anti-siege situation if he's outnumbered, and Ezreal and Thresh are going to be two of the better champs to put into the siege situation.
Yeah. Brand actually has really good wave clear depending on the build you go with him, but with his current build, it's much more of a I want to fight champions, not minions. He doesn't really have much mana regeneration, nor does he have like a lot of flat AP. Oh, Flash Body Slam coming on. The Flay's also going to hit 30. He's going to get 30 spots, but he's going to get Explosive Cast back into him, but Thermidor's coming in as well. He brings the Highlander, but he's going to get
Oh man, we
Thermidor
are
over the
committed.
wall, and Purple Pick Pie jumps in the Shaolin Shot. Meanwhile, Thermidor's being lit up by Thorn, so he's going to barely be able to get out of the life. Purple Pick Pie is going to be able to pick up the kill on Gragas while he's just taking a lot of damage in that backline. Brandon's coming through. It's going to get all the bounces it needs, and down goes on the win. Thor Odinson's power taking a lot of damage. Cole's going to come out, but he's going to barely get a lantern out to make it out just in time, and we're going to see a 2-for-0 fight in favor of TDO.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Thermidor then moves over to mid to finish off the work while his team starts up the dragon. What a fight!
Yeah, that was a roller coaster of emotion no matter which team you were rooting for there. And let's see, Thermidor is at
25. 25
25
after that dragon. He's getting very close to getting the Devour, and it looks like he's picking up the pickaxe, which means it's probably going to go into a Rage Blade. And pause.
So while we have a moment to break things down here, maybe talk about where these teams are at. So Thermidor has to be super happy with the way this early game has gone. I mean, we've seen Zhao all over the map, but his presence hasn't really turned into much. He's 0-1-1. Thermidor going to be quite a bit bigger than Zhao. He's up it's 1900 gold difference between Thermidor's Master Yi and Xiao Wei Zhao and the Gragas right now.
I mean,
That
that's
is
30 jungle farm and a kill. Like, that's what I'll do.
Yeah, and he's gonna have to be very careful in these fights to use that cask to keep Yi out of them, rather than to get hyphy and try and get a pick on Sword and Mace or Ghost. Because that, you get a carry, but it's not worth it because now the Yi has a golden ticket in.
I am really curious to see what they do to handle Master Yi in these team fights, or if he just goes very traditional Master Yi and doesn't team fight for the rest of this game to split push down towers.
Oh, the cancer
I mean,
strats.
Fortunately, he at least took a flash, not a teleport. I don't know if I would have handled that.
Teleport jungle Yi in the SBL. Something the world does not need to see.
So anyways, I just want to real fast give a shout out to one of our sponsors. Gonna shout this one out to Water. It's free unless you pay for it.
Well, that's
And
my favorite
given
one.
that, as far as I know, half of this league has some form of a cold right now, water's really good for you. I'd recommend the stuff that you don't pay for, or else you're gonna be paying a lot for it right now, because you're probably drinking a lot of it. So
Then if you're not, drink more of it.
it's really good for you, man. It's like a health pot and a mana pot for your body.
Everyone in Challenger drinks water.
They
This
took
is
mana
true.
pots out of the game, but you can still have them if you pretend your water's one.
Corrupting potion also gives mana. That's pretty good.
You can pretend your water's a corrupting potion. Maybe
Yeah.
you deal 15 more damage. Have you been clicking health bars
Whew.
after you punch stuff?
Yeah. Drink some
we're-
water, slap some stuff, do more damage.
We're 19 minutes in. Are we surprised that the towers are only 1-1 at this point? I don't
No.
usually track like tower
No.
taking.
I would be
But-
if this was a real game, but this is the SBL. No one knows how to take towers this season.
Yeah, I know, that's a very big point, and especially because like this Ezreal Thresh lane is not very interested in taking a tower early, so really the only other ways you see it is in the top lane or the mid lane. And going back to what Swift said, big surprise.
Yeah, I mean, top lane you got Maokai versus Echo, and both of them can push the lane really hard, but they can't really sit under the tower and take it while the other one's there. In mid lane, they're basically clearing the minions and walking away from each other. Although that tower is down for TDO.
Yeah, TDO is taking the mid tower while
Did that
Bruce is
happen
taking the bot
naturally, or
tower.
did they rotate there?
Right after the team fight, Thermidor ran in mid and went and slapped it a couple times to finish it up. It was like
Okay.
pretty low because during the first LeBlanc roam, Sword and Mace just sat there mid and got like 1500 damage on the tower.
Yeah, can we talk about Sword and Mace getting first tower against Thor here in mid, and how seemingly invisible this LeBlanc, who should have had theoretically a free lane, has been?
I think the story isn't so much the tower, more so because that's kind of been like a team thing with where everyone's placed each other on their teams. But the fact that he's only down like 12 CS and he's had a kill and an assist to match this LeBlanc's only an assist.
I've been saying it for a few
And he has
weeks
a
now, guys.
level up. He has a level up on it.
SS Boosted Friendship only knows how to show up when they're playing Waifu Superstar. They are not the same team versus any of the other teams in the league, and I'm starting to think that might legitimately be the case.
They actually showed up pretty well against us the last time we played them.
Yeah, they've had like one or two other good games.
Yeah.
But these guys are just is so inconsistent, I think, is the thing, which has been the story of like almost this entire league this season.
This team exceptionally so though. Like this team has gone like
Their highs
winning
have been so
games.
much higher.
Yeah,
feels like.
they just
Like,
have this extremely high variance.
when they're on their win condition, they're not like say 2K2S where 2K2S's win condition is that Alice gets big and Scotch does okay. This is a team that can legitimately win through any of their 5 variables. Which is why it could be so crazy to see so many of these games where none of those 5 variables are able to step up.
Yeah. I mean, you get some games where you have them just absolutely botting of their enemy team, and then you have some games where you like the very first game with Dub Drum Zach was not a pretty sight to see.
Yeah, I wish we were the LCS so that there could be like Reddit montages about Dub Jump Zach on the front page.
One
Hey,
day
he had to
we'll
ult to establish dominance on that red buff. Or was it Krugs? I don't remember. I think it was on the way. He had to get there faster. Why not ult? He doesn't need it.
It is a
He's got
fast way to
Zhao Wei
die.
Zhao running his comp.
So-
Something of note, Evilite has 3 kills and is up about a K over Ghost here.
Yeah, Evilite's looking really sharp this game overall.
Yeah, he's been a very, very good player, not just this game, but even all season.
Yeah.
Yes. Of the people you were talking about not showing up or showing up, it seems like Evilite's been very even keel through the season.
He's been the most consistent player on this team. He
He has also been playing the champions that I think, as an AD carry player, are the easiest to put up consistent results on. A lot of Caitlyn, a lot of Ezreal. Those are kind of champions where you can always just go in and play your game, and it's always going to look solid. So it's hard
He's
to
also
say.
played Jhin and Vayne though.
Oh yeah, he did. Play
And
the Vayne
Callista, I
game.
think.
Yeah,
that was
and
last
he has
week,
played
wasn't it?
Callista. He's had a good variety. I mean,
Yeah, actually,
Ezreal and Caitlyn have been like his most common, but he has had a variety.
No, that's true. Now that you guys are mentioning it, I remember he has played quite possibly the most champions of any AD carry in this league.
Yeah.
So.
No, I think
And I
the bigger
remember
thing
Beast
is like he's like the
Callista and
one
Vayne
member of that
games.
team that's consistent. Like he hasn't hard carried and like as many games. I think he's hard carried one, but he also hasn't been like ever the reason why his team's just losing.
Right. Yeah. If you asked me, do I want somebody that goes off once every like 3 games, or I want somebody that you know what you're gonna get at 20 minutes, like almost every game? I'll take the guy that I know what I'm gonna get at 20 minutes almost every game. And we're
Actually-
back in.
Since I know your team has trouble with that kind of stuff, if you want a guy who knows what he gets at 20 minutes every game,
It
I actually
burns.
know a guy. His name's Baron Nasher. He'll be there waiting for you at 20 minutes every game. You got to just go give him a shot.
Can we offer a trade?
You got to talk to him about that.
Oh man.
We got Scuffles in top lane. Scuffles.
Yeah, I haven't mentioned Scuffles in a while. They're actually going pretty heavily in Pickle Pie's favor. Like very surprising large amounts of damage going out on the win.
Yeah, Purple's
We're
got
seeing
that Sunfire
Gragas coming
cape.
up for the gank though. He's coming in hot, but Pickle Pie's gonna be able to haul out.
Yeah, they had to be so scared of that gank just because of how low on the wind was in those last 2 trades.
Yeah, I think that's like half the reason why he backed out there. Like Maokai's done a lot of damage to on the win. He's healing it back up with his crafting clock ticking, but
Yeah. And who
Wow,
likes
Maokai's scary right
long
now.
fights that take forever to kill the tank but Master Yi? Oh, are you guys
Yeah.
diving him under turret because he's at 100 health? You guys are totally going to get caught out here? Sweet, I'm just
Yep.
going to ult.
We're
take
seeing
those two.
all of Boosted coming around for mid. They're gonna try and pick up this tower all 5 minutes. Brand's gonna be there on his own. Zhao is out and Respect looking for it.
Nice.
Very nice flash. Getting out of the explosive cast. Also, Zhao is out getting lit up. Lots of spells going on, but he's gonna get the lantern out to safety. Thermidor trying to run him with Highlander, but nothing's gonna come of it. But
Xiao Wei
meanwhile,
Zhao
Ghost,
working Sword and Mace's computer? I gotta question this.
yeah, dude, Ghost 32 though. He's getting damage on this bot tower. He's calling down the minion wave. I mean, looking pretty good overall for TDO on that. He got a decent chunk of damage on that tower, which had not taken much prior.
Despite all that, we are at same kills, same objectives, same lead.
Yep, 1K for TDO right now. But now, Baron Nashor's live.
Let's check in on the Yi. We got a Rage Blade now.
Yep, and this Valorant is sated. This Yi is going to stack that Gwynch's Rage Blade very, very quickly. Thorin's like coming in, looking for the kill onto Ghost 32. He's going to land the chain and the auto. He's going to try and finish it up, and he will. Picks up the solo kill onto Ghost 32.
If you're Sword and Mace, how tilted are you right now? That you've been playing this lane so
Oh
well,
my God.
and then your stupid AD carry just walks into mid lane to take your CS and gives up a kill.
Tilted, boosted.
I
so
talked
boosted.
to Papa 30 and say, hey man, What's going on with that?
But we have Master Yi doing Master Yi things in the bot lane while Team Boosted Friendships trying to take down this mid tower. Looks like they're going to offer up a trade, but Master Yi takes these towers very, very quickly. We'll see the Explosive Cast try to slow things down, but it's not going to accomplish much. A lot of damage going down onto Respect as 30 and Sword Mace trying to do what they can.
Purple might get a kill here.
But Purple Pickle Pie going on the win, but Thor Odinson coming up. He's going to double dash. He's going to miss the chain though. And that's going to almost assuredly make sure Purple Pickle Pie gets to walk it on out. Dude, this Master Yi is getting scary.
Yeah. And I'm getting kind of annoyed with Win sitting up here with this Maokai because in this matchup I played it a couple times.
Thor Odinson, but he's going to be able to W out. Sorry.
No problem. In this matchup, like, Echo doesn't do well against Maokai. Like, Maokai will win that by a little bit. Or even a lot, depending on, you know, what else happens. Like, Echo is really good in the team fights. Like, he should just be saying, yo, Maokai, you want my tower, you have it, I'm going to destroy your team.
Death Charge going out onto LeBlanc, but he's going to dash out. And we will see Boosted matching this TDO squad, protecting the tower. Let's say the only outers left are these top towers. Both teams trying to position and see if they can get a lead off of the other.
Alright, guys. I'm gonna get a little weird here. But what do you think Drunk Spider-Man would be like?
Drunk Spider-Man?
Because I feel like he would just gotta be throwing his hands out and shooting webs. And...
Oh! Zhao's coming in for Mackenzie. He's honestly gonna go out on the way. A beautiful explosive cast knocks both 30 and
It is taking them so long to kill these guys.
The tower. He's going to have to also reset it, but lots of damage going out. Respect will pick up the kill on 30, and Purple's gonna make it out barely.
Meanwhile,
that
Cancer
gone
bottom.
On 2 seconds longer. The TDO would have turned it
Oh!
that.
Oh, lots of damage coming out from the E onto Thorinson, but Thorison's gonna barely make it out.
Thermidor says, I no longer am scared of you.
Yeah. No, he's getting very, very scary. He's hit the E zone. And now we see this boosted squad trying to roll down into the mid lane, seeing what they can do. They have a sizable minion wave coming in. So Swift, what was it you were going to say about Drunk Spider-Man?
Drunk Spider-Man, I feel like he wouldn't be able to really shoot those webs very accurately. He'd just be kind of throwing his hands out all willy-nilly, you know, trying to land them. And he'd be whipping everything he shoots, just like Thor Odinson has been with those chains this game.
Drunk Spider-Man, you heard it here first.
Yeah, Thor, you've been a Drunk Spider-Man thread. It's been no bueno. I see so many of these kills where I'm like, wow, he's really about to chunk somebody.
Oh!
We're going a magical journey over the wall.
Everlight's gonna have to flash to get out, but Purple Pickle Pie's still on the hunt, and he will put him down. Thor Odinson getting hooked, and he is going to get CC'd down. He's gonna try and jump out, but Body Slam will secure it. And Echo's gonna go ahead and pick up the top tower, so they will get a tower in exchange for a killing dragon.
You guys see Drunk Spider-Man whip some chains at the start of that fight?
Dude, Drunk Spider-Man. He's real.
He's just pressing buttons,
I feel like
man.
Drunk Spider-Man would be like a really hard life. Like, you're used to like, just like flying around the city and everything, and then now
I feel
like
he would probably die.
Yeah.
Like, really fast.
I think that just might come from, you know, he's not as comfortable on that as he is with...
Thermidor getting caught out by On the Wind and but he's going to go ahead and Alpha Strike. He's going to take it in. Purple Pickle Pie now entering the frag, and they get caught up with all four remaining members of TDO. Not TDO, wow.
Jesus.
Can I talk? But it's going to be so much to see. He will...
Oh my god!
Oh. Sword and Mace is going to snipe off Zhao and make it so it's a 1-for-1.
Bring an axe to that fight?
And now, once again, we see something. What? Master Yi picking up the kill onto Echo, and Ghost 32 is pushing the bot tower. If it's not Master Yi in the bot lane, it's Lucian in the bot lane. The split push.
Oh my god. And those are the kind of... It did start with the E, but those are the fights Yi's love, where the other team's like, yeah, we got the tank, and oh god, we're still fighting the tank. Okay, well, we took all this time to... We gotta kill him now, because we spent like 10 seconds fighting him, and then everybody's sitting around at half health, and Yi's just like, alright, let's see who's not paying attention. There's free money around here somewhere.
And the Master Yi changes did go through on the current patch, right?
Yeah, tanky is nerfed, but
That is
mean,
not tanky. That is.
But damage
Well-
Yi is so much snowball potential now.
Oh,
yeah.
Spider-Man.
Well, I mean, even the tanky, like tanky was actually I misspoke. It's more of a bruiser E. Oh, drunk Spider-Man, drunk Spider-Man. Oh no, he's just stalling. Sword and Mace is coming in.
I love Sword Mace just kind of
Yeah,
threw a skill
the
shot at
bruiser
him. It was
E's,
like,
what
hey,
they do is
I
they
need
just go,
business.
they go this Devourer into Rage Blade, and then they just pick all the bruiser items up. Like they'll get like either Sterix or Dead Man's Blade or Hex Drinker, you know, all that crap that gives some tankiness, a little bit of tankiness and more damage. Like, oh, this D isn't just total glass cannon. Fuck.
You know, 3-man push up mid.
Yep. Purple Pickle Pie drawing both Thor, Odinson, and Gragas to the top lane for right now. We're seeing everyone from TDO rotating up, but this pink ward will spot them out. Meanwhile, Master Yi off to go continue his conquest of the bot lane. Where there's minions and a possible tower, Master Yi will go.
So does Boosted have the balls to start banning Master here?
Uh,
I mean, they don't have the
That's a
jungler.
I mean, that's a 28-minute Master Yi showing on the bot lane, and he's really kind of calling
He has,
their bluff.
he has hit the flame horizon. He has 100 CS on Dubdrum. Big hook going on to Xiao Wei Xiao, but it's not
I
gonna
don't know,
do
man.
anything
They had
much.
5 or 4 people hitting that tree
Yeah.
for forever earlier.
Looks like they're gonna go ahead and just opt to try and push down while they send Echo to fend for himself against this ridiculously large Master Yi. As he just sits in the bush and meditates to heal up.
Baiting. Oh man! Oh, I was really hoping he just pulled that bush.
Yeah.
Oh, and we got a hook under Respect.
Oh, we see
TP
the
in.
teleport coming in though. Master Yi does not have a TP to match this, so we'll see what happens. Echo coming in onto 30. Drug's gonna flash it. Drug's gonna flash him, but he's only gonna get the slow from the Q. 30's gonna try and flash out, but he's gonna get blown. Nope. Never mind. He's gonna somehow survive. He's gonna get the death charge on the way. He's gonna get CC chain to take a lot of damage, but he's gonna ult to try and heal that off and get out. But meanwhile, while all this is going down, Master Yi's going to town in the bot lane.
That was a 4v5 for
That was
nothing. And a TP.
So big for TDO. That just
Master Yi's
massive
running over.
outplay.
Master Yi sees blood.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
this
does.
could be really big. He's walking in. He realizes, I don't actually want this anymore. There's too many people. But Xiao Wei Xiao is going on a merry chase, taking a lot of damage from Sword and Mace and Purple Pickle Pie, but he's going to be able to waddle his fat ass out of there. And we see all
And
the
a
pings
free
coming
mid
down,
turret?
and TDO is going to be able to pick up a mid tower to add to their collection, taking the lead in towers this game and securing and even furthering their gold lead.
I was watching the Gragas exchange, and I don't know what happened in mid lane with the Yi, but all of a sudden no one was in mid, half the people were backing, and they got a free tower off of that rotation, if that's what you want to call it.
Oh, Drunk Spider-Man does get one, and 30's gonna go down. Huge flash coming out from her squad. He's gonna get the slow. He's gonna put the exhaust on Sword Mace. He's determined to make something happen here. And we're gonna see the flash from Thor, and that will be able to finish off Sword and Mace. We see 2 kills answered back from Boosted Friendship, and they're gonna go ahead and try to take down this mid tower, it seems like.
They don't have a lot of time before they're gonna. Nope, they're gonna take this tower. Just
Oh, yeah.
fine. What am I talking about? And that's gonna cut this gold lead down to 1.5k in favor of TDO. Towers even, although TDO is currently up to 2 dragons, with third one spawning in 15 seconds. So, looking at the gold, Evelyn is sitting on 2,500 gold. Thor Odinson sitting on 1,400 gold. So they probably want to spend. They don't want to fight this. So this should be a free third dragon for
Yeah.
TDO. Sorry, I
And
was
as
just
we've
made
seen
things wrong there.
in far too many games of the SBL, 5th Dragon is a very, very viable win condition.
You know how sad it is that all these teams have learned how to win off a 5th dragon just in time for it to get taken out of the game.
Yeah, right? Now we'll have Elemental Dragons and big, scary Elder Dragon instead.
See how the Yi train's doing. We got.
Dude,
I hope he can
like,
get. Oh.
Thermidor is like almost all the gold lead. He has 5k on Gragas almost. He's like 4,500.
And they go to slap Purple, and Purple says, "Thanks for the help."
Yeah,
I'll see you later.
He is a big, tanky, dumb tree. He doesn't give a shit about really anything. I mean, the fireman's on his team. He's the guy that burns it down.
And there's not a Scion to bring an axe.
There's going to be a very nice cast on his job from Xiao Xiao, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to get locked up and just absolutely deleted by all 5 members of TDO, who squeaks back in the base. We're going to see the pings coming out, and TDO's going to stream immediately onto this Baron. They should be able to do this very, very quickly, but 4 members of Boosted are waiting in the wings, trying to make it into the way, but 30's just trying to aggressively zone people while Sword makes himself being shown out.
This could be throw-worthy.
This could be really, really interesting. We're seeing Boosted try to get into this pit, but they cannot make it in. They're going to peel off the Baron, and they get themselves a fight, getting caught off in all 5 members on the win, trying to get the stun zone down, but it is not going to be in a correct position. And we have 5 versus TDO. Purple is going to flash onto him, getting both Evelite and on the win locked up. On the win, going to get stunned by Brand by a last-minute range. And that's going to pick up the kill. Meanwhile, Mastery is taking the red buff, and we see what will most likely be a Baron for TDO, having all 5 members. Or
Gragas is now alive. I don't think they want to chance this to a 50-50, and Thor and Evelite could still put out enough damage in that
Look
pit.
how far back he is. Like, he takes him a while to get there, and you saw how fast they were doing it with just 3 members.
And that's also a 4-level gap on the smite damage.
Yeah. Like,
That's almost one of those gaps that's so big, you're just not used to playing around it, so you don't know what to think.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's 2 levels over anyone else in the game. This Mastery is the very definition of the zone. He's got a Dead Man's Plate now, and he's got a Bilgewater Cutlass. He's a... Yeah, he's a Yi. That's all there is to it. He's gonna run at you. He's gonna run at you. You're gonna die. Gonna try and put you down.
Hadn't played a game since December 7th, I believe, was the dates.
That's incorrect. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I'm going to fact check that while you guys continue to do commentary.
Yeah, make sure you check it on... He's got a bunch of normals of 2 days ago.
Well,
And
this is what I get for using Twitch chat for anything. I apologize.
He's like, his entire match was just loaded up with games from like 2 to 5 days ago. What probably happened is that if you're not friends with him, you can only see people's ranked games. Oh, 30 getting caught out. He's in the middle of all 5 members of Boost. This is not where you want to be. We're going to see Purple Pickle 5 teleporting in. And
but he's so tanky.
Walk by, and Thermidor's coming in. He's from the side. He's going crazy. Swordmate's getting a beautiful ult, putting a lot of damage on people. Master Yi will go down after killing the enemy AD carry, but Purple Pickle Pie and the rest of his team are running down. Thorinson on the wind are not looking in a very good spot. On the wind's going to try and work himself up. No, Thorison's going to try and do it. On the wind now is just going to slowly go down or be able to run his way out. No,
we'll see. Sword and Mace.
Are
you boosted? You might
boosted. And they don't have Smite though, but looks like they're still running towards the Baron. Or, yeah, they're going to try and do the Baron without their Smite. Hoping that Sword and Mace can do something about On the Wind. But On the Winds actually might just kill him. Sword and Mace is going to have to flash out, and TDO's going to get nothing from this very, very big team fight win.
That's unfortunate. I almost, if it would have been that close, they might have just wanted to push top.
Yeah, I mean,
could have muscled that down.
Wave. That's really awkward that happened. Like, that could have been a very free tower with how big that minion wave is. And instead, On the Wind just gets to soak all of that XP and gold up.
Reevaluating here, 5k currently the gold lead in favor of TDO, who are also sitting up 3-0 on Dragons. That gold lead literally entirely the difference between Thermidor and Zhao, who performed now 5 levels apart.
I mean, the gap can't get any bigger though. Thermidor is at level 18 and this is not Earth.
Maybe they didn't tell us, or maybe he's been playing it slow so we wouldn't notice, and he's gonna just get to 25.
Oh man. Hook landed on respect, perfectly fine with the flank, putting on the Evil Light. So a lot of
Oh my
advantage,
God.
and down
Becky
goes the swag.
is
On the way,
wrecking.
taking a very big stuff, but it's not going to be enough. Now he's taking a lot of damage, but he's going to flash over the wall. Meanwhile, on the win, getting ran down by Ghost 32 as Master Yi and Maokai finish off Evilite. On the wins, leading him on a merry chase, but that'll most assuredly be up. Ghost 32 will flash to secure the kill.
Oh my
but
God.
we have another 3-for-0 in
And
the
they
favor
might
of
try to
TDO.
end here. Master Yi's gonna help them push down towers very fast.
Look at these towers disappear.
And that was without the lane.
Oh, Xiao Zhou's gonna try to go, but he's just gonna get twisted pants on.
That was it.
Deleted.
You needed to
This
wait to
is the
defend the
game.
Nexus turrets.
TDO's gonna go to push for the win here.
Has been
Or
destroyed.
not.
Nah, sorry, I forgot 30 has no balls as a shot caller.
Ooh.
That
You
was-
want to talk
that-
about? You want to talk about balls? Boosted had a huge wave in bottom, which was why they were challenging Baron in the first place. And I think Third has noticed that and just told Purple, get in there and start a fight. I don't want to do this Baron dancing around bullshit while there's a huge wave in bottom to their advantage.
And it was really impressive that Purple was able to get such a crazy flank in that fight without using either of his summoner spells. Like, I saw that fight and I was like, oh wow, Purple had a great teleport in there. And then I looked
Yeah,
at
he
it,
just
like,
walked
nope,
in.
Yeah,
just
he's a
walked in.
wizard. He was blended in with the map.
That was just
You
a
know, he is
total
playing
lapse in
tree.
vision from Boosted, and Purple just got to walk in and just be like, hey, Evil Light, we're gonna be friends now. You don't want to be friends with the tree.
Tree's kind of a jerk. Asks you out, never meets you there.
Wow.
And we got ZZ Rots, boys.
We ZZ Rot now. ZZ Rot in the bot lane, along with that very large minion wave. That can be a threat that could do a lot of damage to that bottom inhibitor tower.
That's a gigantic wave that's building up
Yeah.
in that bot lane. Like, I'm getting a little bit of anxiety just looking at my mini map.
That's 3 cannon creeps, and the one that's low is like caught behind the other 2, so it's not gonna get focused most likely. Oh, never mind, it just walked forward. It's stupid. It offed itself. It decided that on the win doesn't get my gold. This minion can have it instead.
I like what Sword Mace is doing, but I don't know what the rest of his team is doing.
Yeah, they have a nice minion, like a decent sized minion wave here. It's a minion wave and a half, but
They're
they
obsessed
know
with this
Echo's in the bot.
throw
He
Baron.
has TP, but
They want to
that one
crack
is
the
a
safe.
Crack the safe, yeah. Oh,
Uh-oh.
we have a DC from Sword and Mace and incoming pause.
Hopefully
Bum, bum,
he's
bum.
okay and he's not overheating or something. 'Cause that would be unfortunate.
I
this
think
point.
Brand probably has pretty good ventilation. As far as I know, he's been doing that his whole life.
But how do you weigh in here, Swift, about the their dance around Baron versus they had that huge wave and Echo's dealing with it, plus the ZZ Rod. They could easily just push down top here
That
and
was-
force the fight.
The waves weren't quite prepped for them to capitalize on that. I actually thought that was a really good read from On the Wind, and this is the kind of thing he always does, where he knew if he went and cleared that wave as early as he did, based on where the creep waves were in the other 2 lanes, he would be able to clear that wave without his team being in a position to really be punished, and he went and did it. And that's a play that most of the top players in this league won't make.
Oh,
Purple gets caught.
He's in the middle of the team. He does not get the ult on him. He's gonna go down.
Oh, that's so
A
big.
major setback for this TDO team. That's a minute down without their extremely tanky tree.
I think Booster can force a Baron here.
I think so. We see the TP corner from Echo.
Oh,
Sword Mace is
God.
caught out with and Respect. The ult's gonna fizzle and do nothing, and that's gonna go down. That's 2 members now.
Oh,
my
is
goodness.
the Ignite gonna?
Oh my goodness.
Drunk Spider-Man has to be thanking his lucky stars on that one.
There was no reason he should have gotten close to that low, but it happened. And we're gonna go see
Okay,
Boosted
he's
moving
fine.
onto the Baron 30. He's trying to like ghost around looking for it, but Respect's gonna find him out. But they're gonna try and
This is a-
contest this.
Big smite coming in from Thermidor. I watched for this.
Thermidor
field
does
here.
have the levels on for Nope, never mind. This is gonna be very interesting. Master Yi is
This
on the
is-
hunt. He's looking for it. He's gonna.
Baron's doing
They want
so
out. They
much.
want out.
Oh my goodness.
They don't want it. Thermidor
Drunk
says
Spider-Man.
thank you.
Thor's looking in for, he's gonna try and pick up Ghost 32, but this Baron is just slapping everyone.
Oh my god.
Baron is the MVP of this fight.
Purple Fox!
And Purple's back. Remember me?
And also something to mention, if you
They just
look,
lost.
there are supers taking boosted base. One
It
inhibitor
is
tower is
on
going
the
down.
way
Red team's turret
versus
has
the
been
world.
destroyed.
That Clown Fiesta went on so long, the purple pickle pie spawned and teleported in. That was fucking ridiculous.
And now it is almost assuredly the game.
Red team's
TDO will go in and continue their sole succession of soul plays, despite On the Wind's best efforts to, oh, maybe not. On the Wind has stalled it out long enough. Purple Pickle Pie and Ghost 32. On the Wind will kill Ghost 32. 30 and Purple Pickle Pie doing their best to do as
They
much
can't
damage as
kill
they
that.
can. More minions take the bot inhibitor. They're doing it, and oh, we'll finally have it come down.
Wow, that was... TDO must be ecstatic right now. That's one of those games where going into it, you're telling your sub player, you're like, yeah, Sword and Mace, don't worry. I'm sure, like, you'll probably go even, like, we're going to just carry. And, like, they're all thinking to themselves, like, holy shit, he's barely been playing. Like, he's about to get dumpstered by Thor. And then Thor picks LeBlanc, and you're like, oh, fuck, man, we are going to get so fucked this game. And then Sword's like, no, guys, it's fine, actually.
I've played this 1,000 times. No big deal.
Yeah, he did very, very well. So, who do you guys want to hear from?
I want
I
to hear
want-
from Thermidor, but he already messaged me saying he's not interviewing, so
King Master, yeah.
let's... I would like to grab their bot lane.
Alright, yeah, let's grab their bot lane. Seems good to me.
So we'll give them a second to hop into here.
User
Right, this-
joined your
sorry,
channel.
yeah.
Joined your channel.
Who
Me
might-
and Ghost, and bring in
Ghost.
Sword too. We gotta hear Sword's voice.
He's
fuck is your
black. He
channel?
sounds like he's black. We all
Dude,
know.
no, bring it up, dude. Bring him in here.
User was moved to your channel. User was moved to your channel. Left your channel.
All right, so we are joined with Ghost 32, 30, and Sword and Mace, coming off a fairly interesting game. That's
That's
probably
a
the
good
best
way of putting it. Yeah.
So 30, I'm just gonna ask you straight up. When you found out you were not going to have Zwerves available for this game, this is the first time you guys have had to play your sub all season, and really no one has had much luck when they've had to play their sub games. Did you think you guys would actually have a chance?
Well, I think we always have a chance, but I knew that this week was probably going to be one of our tougher weeks in the season. I think Boost is a really good team, and they've been steadily improving over the course of the season. And yeah, I was a little worried. I mean, like bringing in a sub, and not just not having like the teamwork and the cohesion, and like Swerves being there talking throughout the whole entire game, but. It worked out. I don't think we've actually played a full game as this lineup until now.
Well, I would say it went pretty well. So Sword, I'm gonna ask you. When you got that solo kill on Thor Odin's son, fairly early, I want to say that was maybe around the 10-minute mark. Did you kind of feel like you were back in your groove, ready to play pre-made at that point?
It certainly felt good getting that solo kill because I don't think a lot of people had high expectations of me coming into this, and I just proved I could hold my own against everybody else for the most part.
Yeah, no, I agree. I really don't even know how to put it into question for him. I thought you were actually really very solid that game on a camp that is really easy to get bodied on.
Yeah. No, you did very, very well.
Well, I appreciate it. I mainly play him as support normally, but it's still character knowledge. So
Yeah, no, we were definitely a little worried because last week we saw someone pick LeBlanc against someone they thought was a weaker mid laner with the sole intention of trying to body them, and you're like, oh, someone's trying to do it again, and you were having none of that shit. You put the first kill on him instead, and you were very relevant throughout the entire game.
Yeah, it must feel pretty good coming in as the sub and everybody counting you out and how much focus they put on you in the first 5-10 minutes of the game to have the most damage on your team as the sub.
So is the sole first place think twice die once going to be having a mid lane dilemma heading into playoffs here?
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun.
I don't know, man. Maybe we'll have like an internal 1v1 tournament to see who should play mid actually, and then surprise, I'll win it and I'll be the new mid laner.
I
Oh,
look
man.
forward to mid laning against you.
Yeah, dude.
No memes, please.
My
No
mid
memes.
is better than my ADC, promise.
I hope so. For
In
your
before
sake.
every
Alright.
other team picks
So,
up champions.
Before we circle
Yep.
jerk any harder, Jazz, I'm really sorry. I was talking about how good I thought you were playing, and then literally 2 seconds later, you gave up your first kill. So
I know. Yeah, I left myself pretty open in mid lane when I went up to CS. There was also the time when Respect had a pretty nice flash play on me. I was just
Yeah,
sitting there like, well,
you
I'm
get,
dead.
I mean, that's how League of Legends works. You're up against a better player, you just get outplayed. Like it'll happen. But anyways, so let's move on. Let's move on to some bigger picture stuff here, guys. So 7-2 after being the consensus favorite to finish last place in the preseason, and you guys get the reward of playing Boy Butter next week. So assuming you don't cave under the monumental pressure of playing against that team, you guys are going to have the first seed and will be playing in the championship rounds. How do you guys feel about all that? We'll start with the smaller picture. How do you feel about the Boy Butter matchup next week?
Are we down to clown?
Yeah, I don't take any game less seriously. Like I still had the same amount of prep I had this week as opposed to last week, which I thought were probably
it
our
is
two
still
biggest.
an important game for you guys because if you lose, then Waifu Superstar has a chance to force the tiebreaker.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, that's probably the only point that needs to be made. It's still a very playoff important game, and I think the thing Boy Butter has is they play in a very interesting way. It's usually just one way, but they do it kind of well sometimes if they don't get bodied in the early game. So, and traditionally we haven't had the strongest early games ever. As even this game, for example, we didn't have the best early game. So, at least at laning phase, I should say.
All right.
All right.
Alice Scotch got any closing questions?
Oh, in the big picture though, wasn't that the second part of that question?
Well, I guess we
I
can
got-
wait till
yeah.
after next week to get too big a picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
What team would you? So out of the teams that can make it to playoffs, which one would you be most afraid of facing in the finals,
my
and which
God.
one would you most like to face in the finals?
They were asked this question last week.
Oh,
At least the first half. Let's
What,
just say
yeah.
the second
what
half.
did we say?
You said you would not want to play Waifu Superstar. Or at
Yeah,
least
that's
that's
right. Who
what
would you
Purple
want to play in the
said.
finals? Like, who would be your ideal finals matchup? Just go with that one.
I think the most hyped final match would be us and Waifu. But I would love to see a Cinderella story happen. Like I would love the fourth place seed team to like run it through the gauntlet and then get crushed like 3-0 against us. Like I think that would probably be my ideal finals.
Into a fine dust.
Are you just talking
blown
from
in their
personal
face.
experience because you've come in as 4th seed a few times and then gotten crushed in the finals?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You got me.
Team Flashlight, rest in peace.
Rip.
The bus was too strong.
Fucking what? God damn it.
I've already
How to
announced
tilt-
boys.
how to
30
tilt
cannot win
30
the
in
finals.
To
now.
about
All right.
seconds.
I think I think we've had a successful enough interview here, so we're going to cut to the stream for a moment. We are going to be back with Game 3, which is going to be Batty Bargain Bin versus 2K2S in what is a really, really fucking important game for who gets that 4th seed and who doesn't get that 4th seed. Because they get that 5th seed, which means they don't get to play in the playoffs.
Cut the stream.